You may start, sir.
Greetings to all the participants of this very important conference, the Rose Biotech, being organized by Russian Federation on this very important period, the COVID-19, which has given us a very big challenge in terms of safety to our health and also to the economy and the environment. And it has also given us many opportunities. For example, one opportunity is that how do we reinforce the biosafety measures? So it has given us an opportunity to introspect, rethink, realign, and reinforce the biosafety measures across the globe. So if you really look at the COVID-19, there are still many unanswered questions, whether it is spontaneously mutated or spontaneously evolved organism, or is it the engineered organism, which has been genetically manipulated organism. Still, we have not proven that it is not a man-made disaster. So in this challenge, the biosafety becomes a very important issue across the globe. But there are many, many efforts which is happening dealing with biosafety level 4, which is the most serious, the type of experimentation which the scientists undertake for the benefit of mankind. But however, the biosafety of such organisms from such containment facility is still a great concern. So this conference is actually taking place at this time when the whole humanity, the Homo sapiens, should relook at the policies, the practices with regard to the biosafety. If you really look at the zoonotic diseases today, 61% of all contagious diseases, which is of primary public health concern today across the globe, is a zoonotic origin, has a zoonotic origin, that is animal origin. It has originated from animal or has been one of the host is the animal source. So 61% of all the infectious contagious diseases has a zoonotic origin. And it is predicted that 75% of the emerging human diseases is going to be of this type of zoonotic origin. So in that light, again, the transmission from animals to human and how do we prevent this, put the barrier is very important. So biosafety becomes a very important issue. When you look at zoonotic diseases, there are many, many examples like avian influenza virus, the Lassa, the fever virus, Brucella mycobacterium, anthrax, the Bacillus anthracis, Salmonella, rabies, and there are many, many, a long list. And many of them can also be used as a bioterrorism agent because it's very easy to make a chemical weapon or a biological weapon. So that is why it is all the more important that these zoonotic diseases causing viruses, that how it should be safely kept, preserved, as well as should be put all the containment measures to see that it doesn't affect the human health. And not only biowarfare, which is a very remote possibility because of all the linkages and all the countermeasures available, overt biowarfare will be a very, very remote possibility. But the non-state actors, the terrorists, getting access to such a biological weapon or biological agent is not a remote possibility. So that is where the biosafety and biosecurity becomes important, because today the terrorists can cause a nuclear terrorism, chemical terrorism, or a bioterrorism. So this is very, very important. So in that light, the bioterrorism and hence the biosafety becomes a very, very important issue. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention in the United States of America, and also each country has a similar organization, CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So this is keeping a watch and set standards and get preventive measures in position. So all this is CDC is taking care of that responsibility, but still the laboratory acquired infections is still a possibility. Because the laboratory, when the researchers handling the PhD scholars and the scientists working in such containment facility like BSL-3 or BSL-4 and even BSL-2, the precautionary measures, safety measures, containment measures are very, very vital, is being adhered in all the laboratories across the globe. Is a question mark. Still, whether the scientists, laboratory faculties, and the researchers, PhD scholars, are they adhering to these standards and norms and principles and safety measures is to be ensured. So we need to relook at the biosafety at the global level. So that is why this conference is very important. Because the first thing is, in the laboratory acquired infection, the safety of the scientist who is handling that organism in the laboratory is the foremost. First level is the safety of the researcher who is handling such virulent pathogens. The next is, from that person, if he or she gets infected, when they come in contact with community, they can spread. So it can become a public health issue, and then it can become a pandemic. So it can. That is why it is very important. The biosafety measures at the laboratory level is very, very important, because it can accidentally or intentionally can cause the transmission across the public, across the population. So that is why the biosafety is just the first level is very important. And again, today, the biotechnology tools which are available across the globe as a very powerful manipulative abilities, whether it is a gene manipulation, genetic engineering, gene editing using CRISPR-Cas, for which Nobel Prize was given. So it has all the ability to help the mankind, humankind, by identifying methods to treat diseases. But then it's a double-edged weapon. Such kind of tools can also be misused if it reaches the hands of antisocial elements. So that is where the safety, biosecurity becomes a big concern. So now the other major area which is emerging is synthetic biology. Synthetic biology, you can create synthetically a new living organism. So the synthetic biology is yet another concern where we need to look at biosafety. Not only genetically modified organism, but synthetic biology poses a new dimension of threat for the biosafety of plant, animal, and human, which is the constituents of the biosphere. Now we have at the global level, we have the nuclear non-proliferation treaties, NPT. Then we also have CTBT. And we have such convention to prevent non-proliferation of nuclear materials and nuclear weapons. Similarly, we have control measures for chemical weapons. There is a chemical weapon convention. There is a separate Organization for Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, OPCW, in the Netherlands. So you have for nuclear and the chemical, we have the treaties as well as the control regimes are available. But whereas in the Biological and Toxin Weapon Convention, BTWC, is still not ratified. Even the major developed countries have not ratified this BTWC, which is Biological and Toxin Weapon Convention. So that is where the problem lies, because you won't be able to know the source of origin in the biological today, where from it has come. Because such organisms which is highly contagious can just spread across the globe and become a contagious epidemic and then pandemic. So that is why it is very important that we should ratify the BTWC across the globe. All countries, like we have done it for Chemical Weapon Convention, we must also ratify the Biological and Toxin Weapon Convention, which is still not ratified. And India is strongly promoting the enforcement of BTWC, and we are in fact propagating to all the nations, let us sign, let us implement the BTWC. The other thing is with regard to the biosafety in the laboratories, at the institutional level, at the national level, we need to enforce at these biosafety measures. So we need to have policies, procedures, which is like standard operating procedures, principles, and the best practices to ensure biosafety has to be enforced first at the individual level. Each researcher who is handling such the contagious pathogens, and the persons must know, must be aware of the seriousness of the organisms which the person is handling and its implication for his or her own health, and then subsequently to the health of the whole public and the population. So the awareness and the reinforcement, like using these primary and secondary barriers in the containment facilities, is very important. So the first level of the biosafety is at the individual who handles this. The next will be at the institutional level. At the institutional level, there must be biosafety, like bioethics committee. You need to have biosafety committee, which is functional, which is operational, which is empowered. So we must have at the all institution level that we must have a biosafety committee which ensures, which does audit, periodic audit, surprise audit, and both internal and external audit for such the kind of activities in the laboratories and institutions. So the second level is at institutional level or organization level. The third, at the national level, we must ensure the biosafety measures are in position, the proper enactment of the acts are important, and the oversight mechanisms are important, the committee regulatory authorities are important. So at the national level, we should create, and India has fortunately aligned itself to the global requirement of the biosafety standards by putting various acts and committees in position, overseeing committees in position, so to ensure biosafety as well as the biosecurity. And in the containment, we have laboratories, and very few laboratories are at the level of BSL-3 and BSL-4 in India. But still, in all those, the stringent measures have been enforced to ensure all the regulatory norms and standards required for BSL-3 and BSL-4. Then we also have at the international level the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety. This was signed on 11th September 2003, and this will control and regulate the movement of living modified organisms across one place to the other and one country to the other, if we have to share on a consortium for research and development activities. So we have the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety of 2003, and again it is very important to ensure that every country adheres to this protocol, which will control, regulate, and avoid accidental exposure to such organisms during transportation. Then the biosafety level, at global level, we must create an oversight body, so that on a very transparent way in the digital platform, if any experiments of biosafety 3, biosafety 4 is being carried out, even for development of a vaccine or a diagnostics or a biomarker, which may be related to plant, animal, or human organisms, but we must have definitely a very serious oversight mechanism, and it should be transparent. It should be available at if BSL-4 lab is there at this location and what experiments they are doing, what developmental activities they are carrying out should be, and what type of organisms are being housed in that, in a safe contained facilities, must be known. So let us create such transparent mechanisms at the global level so that the safety and also the audit, the global audit, is also very important to ensure biosafety. And because the biosafety, if it is compromised, it not only causes death, so we have seen in COVID-19, the loss of life is running to crores, that is millions. So now the people with positivity is in millions. So how it has impacted the health, the economy, not only life, health, it also affects the economy today. Because we are all one global village. So if something happens in one country, it impacts the whole rest of the world. So that is why we need to look at, because the economic impact today, if you see the recession, it is worse than what was there in World War II. After World War II, what happened? And today it is much more because of the COVID-19 situation. And then there are critical linkages between sectors. Once the tourism sector gets affected, the manufacturing sector gets affected, the economy gets affected, thereby the nutritional standards get affected, and it compromises the immunity. So it has several vicious circle happens because of this. So that is why WHO has rightly defined biosafety. I will just quote what WHO talks about biosafety. Biosafety is a strategic and integrated approach to analyzing and managing relevant risks to human, animal, and plant life and health, and associated risks to the environment. It is not only health of the individuals and biosphere, but the environment, the ecosystem, that also gets affected. To continue to read the biosafety by WHO, it is based on recognition of the critical linkages between sectors and potential for hazards to move within its sectors and between sectors with system-wide consequences. So, unquote. So this is the WHO reflection on the biosafety. So see the implication. It is going to have a global implication. So what is the carry-home message for all the participants and the viewers of the particular the conference, which is Ross Biotech? First one is create awareness. Create awareness among all stakeholders, including policymakers, researchers, institutions dealing with the biosafety level 3 and 4, and even 2 organisms. So first create an awareness with regard to the biosafety, biosecurity. So full awareness. Everyone who is dealing with such organisms must be aware. And its implication on the health of plant, animal, and human. Because it's just not only human health, animal health will be affected. Particularly India has got the largest biological wealth holder today in the world. Today, India has got a rich biodiversity, and it has got a hotspot in Northeast and Western Ghats. We have biodiversity hotspots. And we have 45,000 species, which is of herbal origin, and it has medicinal values. And also similarly, we are largest animal health holder today in the world. Similarly, plants, agriculture sector, more than 15% GDP comes from agriculture sector. And more than 50% of people are directly or indirectly employed in agriculture and food sector. So that is why the health is also important. Plant wealth is also important. Similarly, animal, we are the largest producer of milk in the world today. And we are one of the largest animal wealth holder today in the world. So animal health is also important for India. Similarly, the human, the demographic advantage what India has, the young India has 50% below the age of 25 years. And we have 1.337 billion people. So 50% below 25 years. The most productive, creative, innovative, energetic phase of one's life. That population is here. So we are the largest the biological wealth holders. So it's all the more important for India, which is taking necessary measures to ensure the biosafety and also biosecurity. Then strengthen the biosafety at all levels. whether it is BSL-1 or BSL-4, we must ensure adequate safety measures, biosafety measures across the BSL-1, 2, 3, and 4 level, particularly BSL-3 and BSL-4 level. And then biological and toxin weapon convention ratification is very, very important to ensure the safety of the global and humankind and Homo sapiens. The global level monitoring of BSL-3 and 4 R&D endeavors is very important. Make it transparent. Make it transparent. Everybody should know across the globe. And we have the right to know what experiments being conducted so that the measures for its audit as well as ensuring safety can be assured. Can we have the CCTV cameras in all this BSL-3, BSL-4, so that if there is any accident or anything happens, we can do retrospective analysis of what really happened and take corrective measures. Then we must also have strong punitive measures. If somebody violates intentionally, there must be a strong punitive measure against the individual or the institution or the nation if they violate, because it affects the whole globe. So there must be a strong deterrent mechanisms available. The other one is we must look at not only human health and safety, but we must look at the plant and animal as well. Because in the bio ecosystem, the ecology has all the biosphere has got all the three components. So we must ensure that the safety of plant, animal, and human health. Then particularly when experiments are being carried out on genetically modified organisms, or if you are looking at synthetic biology, or if you are doing experiments on gene editing, such kind of experiments, very strong protective safety measures should be available. And besides biosafety, biosecurity of the biological assets which are being stored in these BSL-3, BSL-4 facility must be ensured. Because if it reaches the non-state actors and or the antisocial elements, it could be a big hazard for the humanity. So biosecurity, in addition to biosafety, is also very important. So I would again like to compliment the organizers of the Rose Biotech for taking this initiative. And I am sure this conference will open up new avenues to tighten up, to ensure the biosafety across the globe, and also global enforcement is the need of the hour. We know what to do, but then is it being practiced and is it being enforced? So we must enforce on this occasion so that our safety of the whole biosphere will be assured. Thank you very much.